The state of Washington expects teachers to produce an individualized experience in the classroom for all students. However, with limited resources and now a pay cut to teachers' salaries, we have to wonder, will students experience a cookie-cutter education that produces graduates but doesn't necessarily set them up for future success? If Washington state voters pass the initiative to privatize liquor sales, 316 liquor stores statewide could possibly close. The accessibility to liquor for minors could increase tenfold. The Safeway here behind me in Ellensburg isn't the only store that continues to see rising produce costs. We can only hope as the weather improves and as the season gets better into spring and summer that the costs will come down. Central will host Seattle Pacific University right here at Nicholson Pavilion behind me tomorrow night. At this point in the season, they are one and done, so they must continue to win if they want to become national champions. With the statewide ban of alcohol energy drinks taking effect today, many people could feel as if this ban is similar to the prohibition of alcohol in the 1920s. Central Washington University remains the largest employer in the city, but as state funding erodes, only time will tell if that remains to be true. In the midst of an NFL lockout, football fans turn to the college ranks. This is where quarterback Ryan Robertson hopes to lead his Cat Pack to another conference championship. Last season, Robertson heaved for over 2,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. Central has dominated the GNAC for the past 2 years, amassing a combined 20-4 overall record and 13-1 conference record. This has blessed the Cats with 2 straight conference championships. Robertson says after the success the team has shared, everyone should have high hopes.
You know, I think the sky's the limit for this team. For me, I think national championship. I think anyone that sets their goal anywhere under that is, underachieving. That's always going to be my expectation here. His goal is national championships.
Now that he is a veteran quarterback, they expect big things out of him. And Coach Bennett, as head coach, has won 2 consecutive conference championships now, and there is no lack of expectations as the Wildcats head into their 2011 season.
Wildcat fans brave any weather to witness what Coach Bennett's team has to offer in their annual spring game. As far as I can tell, Ryan Robertson and Coach Bennett share a common goal.
We had a good run 2 years ago, ranked #1 in the country. We need to get back to that. We want to be a top 10 program year in, year out. First step, GNAC championship. Second step, let's go deep into playoffs and make a national championship run.
Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Brandon Schreieck. Ellensburg High School social studies teacher Marco Bicchieri feels the strain of the state budget right alongside college students. Inside his classroom, you will find a friendly, positive learning environment. However, he isn't your typical teacher, as he also heads the local teachers union as president. Marco, along with all teachers across the state, now face a 1.9% pay cut over the next 2 years. Yet he must continue to improve the quality of education for his students with less and less compensation. He says that as the state expresses the value of education, their decisions will have long-term impact.
It's also a bit of a hit because you keep feeling like, wait, education's so important, you're not doing enough. Well, we're going to cut you. Oh, we need young, new, smart teachers. Well, it's going to be less attractive. So that's a little bit hard. There's a cumulative kind of morale and financial aspect.
The state of Washington expects teachers to produce an individualized experience in the classroom for all students. However, with limited resources and now a pay cut to teachers' salaries, we have to wonder, will students experience a cookie-cutter education that produces graduates but doesn't necessarily set them up for future success?
Teachers also have concern for a growing importance of athletics and not academia.
Our standards for remaining eligible are higher than the state standards a little bit, but still, I feel like I don't have kids enough, and since our district policy is not to penalize kids for missing unless you have a certain oral participation policy, I need to take my extra time to tutor kids through.
Although this is the case, you have to wonder after wage freezes, cost of living adjustment freezes, and now pay cuts, how long will teachers like Marco stick around?
World map, physical.
Hello, and welcome to the June 2nd, 2000 edition of Newswatch. I'm Shantara Anderson.
And I'm Brandon Schreieck. Coming up on our last edition for this quarter, find out what it means if your kids can't afford to go to college.
Plus, what do failing school bonds mean for the future of our schools?
And we'll have a look at your 5-day forecast to see if there will be any sun in the future.
All this and more coming up next.
Closure of Morgan Middle School was one of 4 ideas discussed at a special school board meeting. Among other ideas are possible renovation, combining the middle school with the high school, or a complete re-election. A full renovation would cost around $2.2 million. School Board President Chuck Whale says the big question is whether or not to invest in Morgan Middle School.
Lawmakers decided that education needed to take another hit on top of budget cuts and tuition hikes for higher education. Now teachers in the K-12 arena face a pay cut over the next 2 years. That's very true, and I had the opportunity to follow one Ellensburg High School teacher around for the day. Let's take a look at the potential impact this has on education as a whole. After the break, learn how the snowpack will affect your water supply this summer. Plus, Newswatch reporter Tara Klecki shows you where a potential hiking trail might lead. All of this and more coming up in 90 seconds. Welcome back to Newswatch. Central Washington University's football team will be shown on national television for the second time in the past 3 seasons as part of the Great Northwest Athletic Conference opener. The Wildcats will be playing Humboldt State University as part of a 6-game Division II package on CBS College Sports. Kickoff will start at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on Thursday, September 8th. Central Washington University junior Caitlin Davis won All-American honors and tied for 7th place at the 2011 NCAA Division II Outdoor Track and Field Championships last Friday. She cleared 12 feet in the women's pole vault. Davis helped the team secure at least 1 All-American in outdoor track and field for the 9th time in the past 11 seasons. The women's pole vault competition concluded the 2011 season for the Wildcats. Anything is possible with time. The Ellensburg boys soccer team is a prime example as they made the state playoffs for the first time in 25 years. We now go to Newswatch reporter Deontay Gordon, who has more on the story. Coming up next on Newswatch, Shantara has your wake-up weather. Plus, we'll have the famous kid pick of the week. Don't go away.